I kind of wrote off this exotic helmet from the Lightfall campaign as being a PvP exotic. It seemed like both of the hunter exotics were meant for PvP, and that kind of made me sad because I mostly play PvE. However, after this weekend, I decided to actually put it on, make a build with it, and go into a Legend Lost Sector, and this build is a ton of fun. And you can also swap out this exotic with something like Star Eater Scales if you're doing more relaxed, easy content, or maybe you need more boss damage. So let's take a look at the exotic. You gain Woven Mail when you activate Grapple, and it increases your flinch resistance while Woven Mail is active. Now, getting Woven Mail just for activating your Grapple is amazing. Woven Mail is like about a 58% damage reduction, which is insane, and it goes on top of all your other resistances. So if you're already running 100 resilience and you've got 1 or 2 resistances on your chest, you're gonna really feel tanky with this setup. For those of you that just want the rundown, here is the saved loadout right here. I can preview it for you so that you can see the aspects and fragments I'm using, which are very important to the build and the gameplay loop, and then my armor mods as well. I'm gonna go into this a little bit deeper after I show some gameplay, but I really want to show you how well this performs in a Legend Lost Sector, especially the Neo Muna one that was on Sunday. This is one of the more difficult Lost Sectors because the Cabal don't stop spawning, so I wanted to take you through it and show you how well this build performs. That being said, it's about a 6-minute run, so if you want to see more in depth about the build, you can just skip to after and I'll talk about the mods. So first up, going into the hydroponics Lost Sector, you're going to want to use your grapple melee a lot in order to create tangles, and you're going to actually drop 2 orbs, as you can see right there. And then I'm going up to the top with my grapple. Remember, we get Woven Mail when we use grapple, so it is super tanky. Obviously, you can't survive everything, but it's super tanky and nice. Check out how much damage Leviathan Breath does, by the way. It's amazing. I haven't really used it that much this season yet, but I just started and I will continue to do so. But basically, you want to spam your grapple uncharged melee as much as possible. We don't have that much strength, so our melee, our actual charged melee is not coming back very much. However, if you shoot those tangles, that counts as charged melee. But basically, you want to spam your grapple melee over and over so that you can get tangles, so that you can shoot tangles and suspend the enemies. You're going to pick up the orbs that you generate from those melee grapple combos, and you're going to generate your super really fast. As you can see, I already have my super, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that. We're just going to make our way down this little area here. And you also want to spam your grapple because obviously you want Woven Mail as long as possible. You don't want to really lapse in the Woven Mail. So you want to make sure you're popping that grapple every 10 seconds or so that you can keep up your Woven Mail. But with the mods that we have on, it's really not that hard. Also, I'm using the Strand sidearm from the new Root of Nightmares raid in this. I really like it, actually. Sidearms in PvE have been a little lackluster lately, so I'm really happy to have a sidearm that feels really good. The rapid fire of it, it's pretty accurate. You don't have to manage that recoil too much, but it's pretty easy to do so. It's pretty vertical. I'll show you guys all my weapons and armor and everything after this. Also, you're going to be getting 2 orbs every time you get a grapple melee kill. You could run void weapons in order to get volatile rounds. It's definitely a great way to go, but as you can see, the build works without it. However, we are using a couple mods in the artifact that give us bigger explosions and give us that melee damage when we destroy a tangle with our Strand weapon. But I like this build because it is super active. You are just kind of running around all over the place and it's a lot of fun. I also chose Leviathan's Breath in this Lost Sector because I needed Unstoppable and I didn't have anything unstoppable. Obviously your dive is unstoppable, but what I found out from running this Lost Sector is that there are 2 unstoppables in the final room that come at you together, and so if I couldn't dive on them and finish them off quickly, it was a problem. So I just brought this Leviathan's Breath. The AoE of it will actually stun other unstoppables. So we just pop our super and blam, they're dead. Easy peasy, and then put a little work in on the boss. Here I almost Right here, I almost did not get away, but woven mail coming in clutch. Whenever you hear that horrible, I don't even know what kind of squish noise it is, that's your woven mail getting hit, basically. It's a god-awful noise, but it does its job. Also, I wanted to talk about the unraveling rounds too. You'll see like a debuff, the sever debuff on the enemies, and then you'll see them kind of taking damage over time, and it looks like little bugs are kind of eating them alive type of thing. That's the unraveling debuff, and you're getting unraveling rounds in your weapon. As you can maybe sometimes see on my left side of my screen, there's a lot of buffs going on. It makes it so that your Strand kinetic weapons don't feel so weak, since they are a little bit lower damage than regular kinetic weapons. Hopefully they'll change that. I don't think they needed to do like a double nerf with those, but I understand that the Strand and stasis weapons are kind of more like utility. Trying to get a little peek shot on the boss, which I do. He still doesn't die for some reason, which is crazy, but we finish him off here, and that's it. That's the lost sector. So 6 minutes 50 seconds, not too bad for a legend run. I am 1823, so not too far under light, but you can see we got 113 kills and we created 81 orbs. So that's actually insane. All right, so hopefully that convinced you that you need to make a build like this. So let's go ahead and go over the rest of it for those of you guys that want a more in-depth look at the armor mods and weapons and stuff that I'm running. My Strand sidearm here is actually not even the best roll. I don't really need elemental capacitor, the airborne effectiveness. I mean, I guess if you're really shooting when you're in the air, the exotic helmet is giving you airborne effectiveness, so maybe this would also give you even more, and you could just be like flying high, shooting while you're jumping up in the air. But we did get Frenzy, which is a nice bonus damage perk. Alloy Mag is helping us get that really fast reload. But obviously you can use whatever Strand weapon you want. The AR is really nice as well. There are some crazy perks on these raid weapons, so I would highly suggest getting it. You could also use Quicksilver if you have the Catalyst done to make it Strand. I do not have the Catalyst done yet. And then for my special, I just used Hollow Denial. As you saw from the footage, I didn't really even use it that much, just for the turrets, but every time you pick up an orb, you are going to get Volatile, so you could use it for that just to get some extra AoE. Harsh Language obviously is a really great one as well. You could get Wellspring Repulsor if you want to get your abilities back faster and also get an Overshield. So Woven Mail plus an Overshield, that would be pretty nutty. Obviously you can use kind of whatever you want. Wave Splitter is another good one as well, because when you pick up orbs, it's going to grant you a period of max power and it's going to reload your weapon. So this one is a really good one to pick as well if you don't need to use an exotic for something else. And then, of course, you use Leviathan's Breath, specifically in that lost sector because it is unstoppable intrinsically. So that way we have Unstoppable, we have Barrier with our sidearm, or if there was Overload, we could also use our AR. And then let's take a look at the subclass a little bit. Sorry, I'm kind of going in a weird order, but we've got your normal setup here with our grapple. We've got Widow's Silk for an additional grenade charge, and then grappling creates a grapple tangle. Remember that too, because that will not use your grapple. If you grapple to a tangle or if you grapple to your grapple point, it will not use your grenade charge. So that's a way around that as well. But honestly, I feel like it comes back quick enough. You don't really need to do that. And then we've got Ensnaring Slam. This is your air move where you will dive to the ground and you suspend all your enemies on impact. This works for Unstoppables. This works for a lot of enemies that you might not even think it works on. So definitely make sure to use this as much as you can. And then we're using Marksman's Dodge here. If we really need to reload our weapon, we can actually dodge instead of the dive in order to reload. And then the 4 fragments, which I think are very important to this build. First up is Thread of Propagation. Powered melee final blows grant your Strand weapons unraveling rounds. This is going to count if you shoot that tangle, and that's going to count as powered melee final blows. It's going to give your Strand weapons unraveling rounds. And then we've got Thread of Generation. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. Grenades are your grapple, so this is super important. This is a lot of energy, so definitely pick this one up. Next, Thread of Rebirth. Strand weapon final blows have a chance to create a threadling. So this is basically hatchling on your weapon. You can also get hatchling on a lot of the Strand weapons, I think all of them. So if you get a hatchling weapon, that's even even more damage that you're going to be outputting that you don't really have to worry about. It just kind of is added damage. And then the last one, which I think you could maybe swap out while you have Woven Mail Weapon, Final Blows create a tangle. This is better if you're not using a primary kind of strand weapon. You might want to have this one on here for sure. You could swap it out for Thread of Ascent, activating your grenade ability reloads your equipped weapon, or Thread of Mind, defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy. Those would be two that I would recommend. So next onto our artifact, I just wanted to point out the ones that are important. Obviously Strand, Grenade, and then this one Multi-Siphon if you're using Strand and Void weapons. That one's really great as well. Then Volatile Flow if you're using Void weapons, but this one right here, Untangler, is going to cause those tangles to do powered melee damage when you destroy them. It's so funny because somebody brought this up to me after I had done the Fellwinter video for my Warlock build, and they said this is what is causing it to spread necrotic and spread Fellwinter, etc. Destroying a tangle with a strand weapon suspends targets damaged by the explosion. It doesn't say anything in here about melee, but there's a fist on the icon. So I guess that's just how it is. But this one here, and then this one right here, Threaded Blast, destroying a tangle with a strand weapon creates a larger and more damaging explosion. So those two together are going to give you those crazy nice explosions from the tangles. They're going to suspend enemies, etc., etc. And then we've got Rapid Final Blows with a strand weapon, grant your weapon unraveling rounds. So that's another way to get unraveling rounds. And then Counterweave is going to give you energy for your least charge strand ability when you or a member of your fire team defeats a champion. So those are all great ones to pick up. All right, we're almost done. We're going into the armor now. Obviously the exotic helmet, like we talked about on here, we've got the Void Strand Dual Siphon, so we can drop orbs if we get multi-kills with either. And then I've got Ashes to Assets doubled up here. You could also put Hands On. I just didn't have enough energy, but you could mix it up and put one Ashes to Assets, one Hands On. This works with the grapple melee combo, even though it says grenade kill. It's actually works with your grapple uncharged melee combo. Then on our arms, we've got Firepower, Heavy Handed, and Impact Induction. This is going to reduce our grenade cooldown even more. Then on our chest, we've got Void Reserves just for my Void Heavy, but you could change this out to be whatever you want. Some more resistance, or you could do a different reserves if you wanted to. And then I've got double solar resistance just for that particular lost sector, but I always change out my chest mods depending on the activity that I'm doing. And then on our legs, we've got double strand weapon surge. Of course, you could put Void on here if you wanted to, but I like having that extra little bonus on my primary weapon. It just makes things feel a lot smoother. And then recuperation is a huge must because we're going to be dropping orbs a lot. So every time we pick up an orb, we're going to get a chunk of health. You probably could go back to that lost sector footage and notice when that's happening. And then lastly here on our cloak, which by the way, this cloak is amazing, from the Root of Nightmares raid, we've got Outreach, Bomber, and Time Dilation. This is going to give us a reduction to our grenade and our melee, so it's just feeding into that gameplay loop. That's it for the build, guys. I think that this one will do really well in the newest raid that just came out this past weekend, so try it out there. I'm going to try it out after reset and see what I think. Let me know down in the comments below if you try it out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.